this lap.
I'll tell you what, you can see another thing, that 22's got a lot of horsepower under the hood.
Yeah, he's pulling away down the backstretch, and that's giving him plenty of room here this time. And here comes Allgaier closing on Kyle. Harvick's watching this. And word from the pits at 62 may have scraped the wall. I don't see too much damage.
I don't see any, really. I don't know if he maybe just got real close.
He's running 15th right now with Brendan gone. Right behind him is Michael Annett and Danica Patrick. Meanwhile, this is the best action. It's for the race lead.
Boy, Kyle's car really good on the bottom in 1 and 2.
Heading for 3. You see how rough that backstretch is. All 3 now heading for the low line on the track.
Yeah, literally the low line. They're all below the white line with their left side tires. Looks like it works the best for Brad.
Looks like Harvick's the only one of those top 5 that's using that high line all 4.
2, I'm way too tight, 3 and 4.
That's working for him in 1 and 2 by being tight, but it's killing him over there in 3 and 4.
And I think a lot of it has to do with Brad Keselowski choosing that low line.
And there he does it now. This is the first time he's been on the bottom in 1 and 2.
Holds off Kyle, but now it's allowed everybody to close up. Throw a blanket over the top 5.
Right now, you're good where he's bad, vice versa, man. Just nice and smooth here.
You hear the team talking about you're good where he's bad and vice versa.
Boy, look at Allgaier, though. His car is really strong.
Yeah, this is a line that Kyle Busch tried a little bit earlier today. And he was trying to run Kevin Harvick back down. Here comes Harvick with a big run.
And Harvick's going to get the spot on Allgaier, and boy, we almost had a collision there.
You can see how Kyle Busch got all the way back to the 22 because that allowed him to carry more straightaway speed.
Going down into 1. This time Kyle's going to stay up in the midsection of the track.
Yeah, he's going to have a run off of turn 2 right here. He's going to take the lead.
Here we go. So Kyle Busch, remember, he's won twice before when he's had speeding penalties. Here he is back in the race lead after a speeding penalty.
Yeah, and here comes Harvick, too. Watch this. He's working the top side over here. His car's starting to come around.
Kyle Busch had moved around early to try to stay out of those seams, and it seemed to be working really well for him. Look at Harvick, the run that he has.
Side by side with the 22 of Keselowski, and Harvick wants a piece of the race lead. He's into 2nd.
Yeah, what you saw Harvick do there is classic side drafting right there. He got up right next to the quarter panel of the 22. That pulled him back a little. He pulled out and made the pass.
Well, Brad Keselowski said in the pre-race, draft often decides the end of this race, and we're seeing a little bit of that right now.
Oh, absolutely. That's all they're doing right now is using that draft to their advantage.
And here comes Justin Allgaier on his teammate as he pulled out after getting a bit of tow. Goes all the way 4 below the line.
Almost to the grass.
Here comes Harvick for the lead.
Race lead could change hands again. Kevin Harvick on the high side. He's going to clear Kyle Busch. So Kevin Harvick rebounds from 1 bad pit stop and retakes the race lead.
Well, what a solid car Harvick's had all day. They've made a few slight adjustments with this race car, but it's just been very, very fast.
It took Kyle Busch just 23 laps, if you count them all, to go from 15th when he served the penalty back to 1st. Right now he's running in 2nd. Here we go with Joey Logano going underneath Carl Edwards. All of a sudden Carl is losing contact with that group, and Joey looks like he's going to be able to clear him.
I think Joey has a fast race car, but the last 2 pit stops have gotten him back in traffic. He's just had to fight his way back.
He holds on to the spot as they cross the stripe. Right now, 35 laps to go. Let's check in a little bit further as we go back for the race lead. Here comes Kyle on the low line again. How many times have we seen this act today?
This car's really good down there on the bottom. As Andy was pointing out, he really makes a nice run. That serves him well, but I have a hard time passing Kevin Harvick here. I think he's just kind of sizing up exactly what he can do, how far he can take this.
It's the longer way around, but the momentum that the 33 is able to carry is enough that he maintains control of the race lead.
Kyle Busch not going to give up. He's going to keep trying something different every lap if it takes it to see if he can find something to beat Kevin.
The top 4 have pulled away from the 2nd group. Truex is 2.7 seconds behind the race lead. And there you see Martin screaming through with Joey Logano. And right behind Logano is Carl Edwards. A little bit further back, you'll find Ryan Newman, Sorensen, and Al Mirola rounding out the top 10. There they are. A little bit further back, let's check in on this battle because we've got a number of cars, including Danica Patrick in this mix. She is 9.7 seconds behind the race lead in 16th position.
Yeah, just made a pass on Mike Bliss there for that 16th spot. So moving forward, and it's a couple of cars in front of her that will be for another spot that she's actually running faster. Vince?
You know, I think the big difference that we're hearing is that she is understanding the car more and more each week that she's been in it. And of course, now she's going to be in the Nationwide car throughout the rest of the season. But the more she's in the car, the more she understands it, the more Tony Uri understands her language, and the more she understands his. And you can hear them on the radio with their confidence growing as they tell her, go race them, go get them. And she's got the confidence now to do it. The car is much better today than what we've heard her have to deal with in previous races. So I think this whole group starting to take a step forward, and we're starting to see her show her hand running on the lead lap.
Great stuff, Vince. Is also great stuff. The battle for fifth right now with Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. They're duking it out. Right behind is Carl Edwards. As we mentioned, his car has fallen off a little bit here in the last few laps.
Yeah, this just hasn't been the typical day as you see Truex trying to work that bottom side and take that fifth spot away from Joey Logano, but just hasn't been the normal Carl Edwards day that we expect here at California.
You see them come down that long backstretch here at Auto Club Speedway with 32 laps to go. There's your top five. Does Kevin Harvick get his first win at his home track?
28 laps to go here in California. Kevin Harvick opening up a 9/10 of a second lead on Kyle Busch. We remind you that tomorrow it's the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Pepsi Max 400 from here in California. Coverage on ESPN at 3 Eastern time. We start with NASCAR Countdown at 2 Eastern. Jimmy Johnson live in our studio. NASCAR Now tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. Pre and post race coverage from California 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And the drag racers Toyo Tires NHRA Nationals in Pennsylvania qualifying tonight 10:30 Eastern ESPN2. The finals tomorrow at 9 Eastern. Note that is on ESPN, our motorsports calendar for the weekend. And from the pit studio with Rusty Wallace and Brad Doherty, talking about three different situations with Kevin Harvick versus Kyle Busch as this race comes to a finish. One, fuel to the end. Kevin has attracted your attention there, Rusty.
He really has. Hey, Brad, follow along with me for a second here.
I'm with you.
I'm a little bit nervous here. You know, when I think about Kevin Harvick, I think about brute speed. I don't think about a guy that knows how to save fuel real good. I don't think about a guy that's really good on luck when it comes to pit stops. The problem I'm seeing right now, he's running the high line all around this racetrack, the longest way around. He's got no drafting help. He's up front pushing all the air, all the bad things for fuel mileage. And the way I calculated this, Alan, he can run 46 laps at the max. I don't know if he's going to make it on field if this thing continues.
Did you remember to carry the one, right?
I did.
Okay,
I think I got it right this time.
That's okay. Just checking. Other thing, Kevin Harvick, his car's been better on the long run than the short run. A late caution wouldn't be good for him.
Yeah, I mean, because we really don't know. He has been excellent on the long runs throughout the day. We've seen long green flag runs. He may have a great race car on a short run. He's running really good lap times, but the biggest concern is Kevin Harvick making it to that last lap without question.
Edwards and Logano, pretty good race for fifth position. Joey in the 20, Carl in the 60. Logano trying to move back forward after losing a couple of spots on his last pit stop. Final point where Kevin Harvick's concerned, and I know it's been a theme of the day for us, and we don't want to seem like we're harping on it, but really it's based in fact. If the caution does come out, he's got to come down pit road again, and can his crew go toe-to-toe with Kyle Busch's one more time and get Kevin out with the race lead?
I think they can. They can do it.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll find out the answers to all these and all the other questions, as they might say in the old Hollywood teaser, as we come back for the final 25 laps here in Southern California. Harvick's the leader, and trouble on the racetrack. Here.
Do you want to own a...
Got back as quick as we could. It happened just as we were going to a local break. We are under our fourth caution. Michael Annett, it looked like he had a right front go down on him, and he got Brendan Gaughan and swept him up. The pits are open. We'll show you the replay of how this all happened, but here we go for what is always called the money stop. Vince?
Well, for Justin Allgaier, if he has any shot at winning this race at all, he has got to be better in the middle of the corner. He says the drive off is really good, but it's just too tight in the middle. So they're going to go back on an air pressure adjustment from earlier in the right rear. Otherwise, no changes, 4-tire stop. Jamie?
Kevin Harvick's car is good. They're going to fill it all the way up just so it doesn't change the balance of the race car. Put 4 new tires on it, and that is it. No adjustments for Kevin Harvick. Doc?
Bottom of your screen, Brad Keselowski. Good in 1 and 2, tight in 4. Going to make an air pressure adjustment for Brad K. Middle of your screen, track bar. Half round on the track bar for Kyle Busch. Said he is tight in the center, particularly in 3 and 4.